Hey guys! So, first of all, I just want to thank you all for your undying love and support through this journey. I know I have a lot of new friends, and for some reason today it's been on my heart to share a little bit of my journey and my story with you. I hope that this message reaches you, and I hope that you really truly understand the meaning behind chasing our dreams and our hopes. And just because our seasons, there are seasons that get hard, it doesn't mean that we have to just give up and quit. Sometimes we are meant to walk on a journey that is hard and that is going to take longer than we expected. And I have been walking through a really challenging journey. As some of you know, I have had major health issues over the course of about more than half my life. And it's been a struggle for me, and I kept quiet for a really long time, and I didn't talk about it, and I just thought that was the way it was supposed to be. And until I really started doing research, until I started really getting into really what was causing the issues that I had, I really didn't understand it. And so we have dreams and goals and hopes that we want for ourselves. And so when we get derailed, sometimes we just lose the idea that we are meant for something greater, that we have something that we're fighting for. And just because you get knocked off your path and you're not walking on a straight line anymore, you may get distracted with something totally different. It doesn't mean that you have to just give up. It just means that sometimes we have to redirect our focus back and realign ourselves with where we want to go. Things are going to happen in our lives that are going to throw us off course. And because we are putting practices in and creating habits, just like this 30-day yoga challenge that we're on right now, we are creating habits and practices that are helping us realign ourselves with our goals and our dreams. A lot of us have focus of being healthy and fit and feeling great and wanting to do something more for ourselves and be able to fill our cups so that we can provide to our friends and our family and our kids and our husbands and our wives. You have something inside of you that nobody else has. And so when we look at everything online and social media and the internet, wherever it may be, or even just the people that are in our lives, we tend to focus too much on comparing ourselves to where they may be at on their journey, and it kind of puts us back sometimes. And it's happened to me several times, probably more than I'd like to admit. But when I redirect my focus back to the course that I'm supposed to be on, like I may be at a 1 on my journey and one of my good friends may be on like an 8. And because I look at what she's doing, I'm like, all right, go girl, you got this. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, why am I still on stage level 1 compared to where she's on her 8? And that's the thing that we need to refocus ourselves on, is realizing that this is your journey, this is your path, this is your dream, this is your goals. These are the things you want, maybe not what other people want. And none of us are the same. None of us want the same exact things. And so we can't focus on getting on somebody else's path or their course that's not ours. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys to maybe take some time to reevaluate where you are, what season you may be in, what you're walking through, and sit with that. Reassess your goals and your dreams. And a lot of people set like 10-year plans, 5-year plans, 1-year plans, whatever. Instead of going so far out, I wanted to encourage you guys this week to focus on maybe like one thing that you could accomplish. It could be something really small or something really big that you've been working towards. But changing the course to get to that goal or dream that you have is ultimately what you're working towards. And because our world is so chaotic and crazy and filled with so many fast-paced things, we tend to spend so much time doing things that aren't getting us to where we want to be. And it's okay if we get derailed and thrown off course sometimes, but it's important to take time to step back and reevaluate the course that you're on. You may be going down a path that is not getting you to where you want to be. And so working towards that, just like we are with the yoga challenge, we're on day 5, and I'm so proud of you guys for doing everything you have been and pushing through and persevering, because I know this challenge has been mentally and physically draining for a lot of people. But because I've been inundated with messages and just comments about how much it's helped them, like, it made me realize that there is a way to encourage and to step out. Instead of comparing ourselves to other people, we're just encouraging them to go through this journey, maybe something similar, or help people. There are several people in our group who are wanting to start a nonprofit, or they want to train horses, or they want to write a book. Like, there are so many things that these women are wanting to do, and I think it's so amazing that I get to be part of their journey and helping them, realize these are their dreams and goals, that it's something that if they continue pursuing, it may take them their entire lifetime to do, but that where that happiness and the joy that deep inside comes from. And I had seen a quote or a picture somewhere on social media a while ago. I'll have to find it and share it with you guys. I don't know if I can post it here, but it was really interesting to see like famous actors or just famous authors, or just famous people who have made an impact in our world, at what ages they were made their first movie that went crazy, or somebody who wrote a book that finally spoke to somebody and they were in their 50s or 60s. This really spoke to my heart, because it was we're constantly chasing dreams and hopes, but we forget that it takes time to get to those things. And just because you're walking through a season right now and it's something you've been praying on, or you've had people praying on it for you, maybe you haven't learned the skill. Maybe you haven't learned the way to communicate effectively your words, or maybe if you're wanting to write or become a speaker, or you want to teach kids, whatever it is, start a nonprofit. Maybe you don't have all the tools in your toolbox that you need in order to do those things. And so it's okay if you're walking through a hard season. It's okay if you don't have everything put together, because you're still learning, you're still growing. And this is something I heard about 1.5 years ago. It was the craziest thing. Instead of trying to do something, you're in training. You're always in training to get to where you want to be. So if you remember that one concept of anything that I talk about today, is instead of trying to do something, you either do it or you don't. You're not trying, but you're training yourself to get to that next place. And because that is so important foundation concept, that instead of stopping yourself saying, well, I tried to do that. Well, did you try? Did you do it or did you not do it? There's kind of really not an in-between. You didn't try to, call somebody. You either called them or you didn't call them. And so if you take this concept and you implement into your life, instead of trying, just remember that you're training for something. You're training to learn how to commit to learn how to communicate better by getting over your fears of talking to people, or I don't know, somebody was talking about wanting to go parasailing, and I said, I want to go skydiving for some reason, because it's been something that I've heard about and I think it's really cool, but I'm terrified to do it. But it doesn't mean that those crazy, fearful things that we want to do. I talked about this a few weeks ago about fear representing something instead of something that we are scared of. Fear can be something as simple as facing everything and rising. And so when you see fear, recognize it and admit to it and say, I see you. I know that this is something I've never done before. But instead of putting those notions on yourself or notions on the fact, that idea, just because you haven't ever done it, like, you're only putting your negative thoughts into something that you have no idea what it's going to be like. And I think that is the ultimate thing that really constrains us and really keeps us from going into the things that we want to do, is that fear, because we're putting a negative aspect. Like, there's so many things that we've done in our lives that we're terrified of doing, but like, if we just stop thinking and we just do it, that really is going to be you fearing, which means facing everything and rising. And so when you look at your life and that aspect, and you change that course for your dream, just, realign yourself with what you're wanting to do. It may just be like a little change, it may be one thing, but I've learned that even though today, you may be working on something, and yesterday you may have accomplished something, but today doesn't define based on what happened yesterday. Yesterday is already past, like, it's already over with. And so today you can be better than you were the day before, and by doing that, you're making small changes and moving forward. And so I hope that you guys got something out of this message today. If you did, feel free to share this message with somebody who may need to hear it, because honestly, it's so important to help others on their journeys. And that is why every day, almost every day that I can, I hop on here and I share these messages with you, because it's something that has been on my heart or something that I've recently learned. And sharing is caring, guys. And so I am sharing and pouring my heart into you. And so if you got something out of this message, feel free to share it. And if there's something you need to chat about, I'm always here. You can always send me a DM or inbox me here. And I'd love to help you move in the right direction, and maybe just help you kind of figure out where you want to be and what you want to do. Because really, like, our life is all about incorporating and loving on others, and encouraging you to move past those things that you're having a hard time with. So I hope y'all have a really great day, and I will see you tomorrow.